So we're here again in Master Duels with another event, and this time it's an extra deckless event. I wonder who that could possibly be for. I just have no idea. Jokes aside, obviously enough, Floowandereeze is going to be absolutely everywhere in this event. It's not only good, but also really cheap, and anyone who pulled from the latest pack to get Adventurer cards will basically have a full Floowandereeze deck. Speaking of Adventurer, they'll probably be everywhere as well. But I'm not here to talk about those decks, since even if you don't know them yet, you sure will by the time you've played in this event. Instead, I'm here to show you a simple, cheap, anti-meta deck that absolutely shuts Floowandereeze and Adventurer down, and is pretty difficult for any other deck to deal with as well. That deck is Evil Eye Stun. Never heard of Evil Eye? Well, they're a fairly self-contained normal summon engine that gives you a Cerziel, equipped with Evil Eye of Selene, making it indestructible by battle and card effects, as well as being untargetable. That alone can make it pretty hard to deal with for some decks, but also whenever you activate another Evil Eye effect, Cerziel gets stronger and stronger every time. What makes this engine good is that Cerziel is the one who searches Selene, so all you need is your normal summon, but also their field spell searches Cerziel, so all in all you have 7 copies of your starter that's full combo by itself, but also you can run a bunch of consistency cards to make it even better. This setup of a single powerful monster makes the deck compatible with a ton of floodgates, notably Kaiser Colosseum and Summon Limit. You see, with Kaiser Colosseum up, your opponent will only get to summon one monster if all you control is the hard to remove Cerziel, and that's just not enough for Fluas or Adventurers to make their plays. Well, it's not enough for almost anything, let's be honest. You can also throw in a skill drain, since Cerziel's effect doesn't matter too much after you've gotten the search, and Evil Eye of Selene is the one doing all the heavy lifting by giving it protection. Again, we all know how much this card shuts down most decks, so you're basically playing a normal summonable towers monster, which a lot of decks won't be able to out, all while shutting them out of doing most of their plays. Why, yes, I did wake up and choose the Path of Evil today. So here's the deck. To give a stun deck like this the chance of going second, we run a pretty sizable hand trap line consisting of 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Ghost Ogres, 3 Ash Blossoms, and 3 Imperms. These are basically the most effective hand traps against Floowandereeze, with the Ghost Ogres helping against Adventurer to destroy Fateful Adventure. If you're missing any of these and don't want to craft more ultra rares, you could also try a package of 2 Siphon Gear Gamma and 1 Driver, since that also shuts the birds down pretty hard. I'm not running Maxi since it likely won't be nearly as useful in this event compared to the regular ladder, but if that turns out to not be the case, just include it. Then for the Evil Eyes, I play 3 Cerziel and 1 Medusa. And no, Medusa isn't just because I pulled a Royal Rare. While Cerziel is the main threat of course, Medusa helps in longer drawn out games by recycling your Evil Eye cards to get an edge on your opponent. It can also banish monsters in your opponent's graveyard, but that probably won't come up against Floowandereeze very much. If you use Cerziel's second effect, make sure you have something that you don't mind destroying next turn, or if you have Skill Drain on the field, you can flip it up after destroying something so that you don't need to deal with the downside next turn. Then we run a Terraforming and 3 Domains, since that'll search Cerziel or Medusa for later turns. For the eyes, run 3 Selene and 2 Gorgonio. Selene is what makes Cerziel hard to deal with without drawing back row removal, and since there won't be Nightmare Phoenix around, they often won't have a consistent way to get rid of this. Gorgonio is good for pushing for game, but can also be sent with Foolish Burial Goods in order to search another Evil Eye card by banishing it from the graveyard, as long as you have a spare Evil Eye card to discard. It's to allow us this flexibility that I run more Evil Eye cards than the strict minimum necessary, because being able to search Repose to banish something that you attack, or Defeat to bounce your opponent's board before locking them down again is very useful. Then we have our draw power with 3 Duality and 3 Desires. Duality is like a Prosperity Light that works without an extra deck, and might trick people into thinking you're playing Fluas, especially since you're also playing Terraforming. For Desires, as usual, just try to use it after you've done your other searches. Now we get to the part that makes your opponent unable to play, the Floodgates. Run 3 Kaiser Colosseum, 1 Skill Drain, and 3 Summon Limit. Kaiser Colosseum means your opponent won't be able to summon monsters to control more than you currently control, which will almost always be 1 in this deck. This means Floowandereeze will be stuck with their low-level birds, never actually able to tribute summon something that will actually threaten you. It does of course shut down pretty much every other deck that needs their special summons as well. Skill Drain is better in this deck when it's at 3 of course, but when you do get to it, you'll have Cerziel's full protection even under Skill Drain, since it's the equip spell that gives the protection, not the monster effect. To make up for only 1 Skill Drain, you also run 3 Summon Limit to maximise your chance of drawing a Floodgate that will stop your opponent from playing. After all, Floowandereeze needs to summon 3 times in order to get out their high-level monsters, and this stops that at 2. Sure, if they do have map, they can continue on your turn if you normal summon, but if your board is already established, that won't be a problem. You might be thinking that Kaiser Colosseum and Summon Limit kind of conflict with each other by doing the same thing, and well, that is true to some extent. If you only have 1 monster, then Summon Limit is just kind of worse. However, you really want to draw at least 1 of these floodgates, so you need to run more than just 3 of them, and also Summon Limit is a lot more powerful if you want to start pushing for game and using a second monster, because that still won't allow Fluas to tribute summon. So that's the deck for this event. While it absolutely doesn't require an extra deck, it can benefit from one a little bit, and with the different meta and ban list in the regular ladder, this deck does end up looking quite different if you want to use it there. So if you want to see a version of this deck that I built for the regular ladder, just check out my Patreon. Anyway, enough of that, let's look at it in action. When I say action though, since it's a stun deck, there actually isn't much of that going on, so I'll make this fairly quick. Here's an example of a hand that has everything you need. Ignore the maxis since this was done on regular ladder to help get some footage ready for the event. Just imagine it's any other hand trap. Anyway, since Cerziel can search Selene, all you need now is a Floodgate. Kaiser Colosseum works well, but we even get a Skill Drain from the excavations. Desires draws Summon Limit, but we don't play it since it wouldn't really achieve anything that we're not doing already, and we don't really want to lose to a single Feather Duster. We also don't flip Skill Drain straight away, in case we need Cerziel's Destruction effect. However, it ends up just being overkill. The opponent's Book of Moon that they excavated doesn't work since Cerziel can't be targeted, and when they summon a Robina, only to find out that they can't summon anything else, that will be the end of their turn, along with pretty much any other Floowandereeze player's turn. So that's the deck. Will you try this out to counter the army of birds in this event? Tell me in the comments below, and while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Special thanks to my tier 3 patron, Distran, as well as my tier 2 patrons, Jason Murat and Violet Rain. The link to that is in the description. Thanks for watching!